Hi, this is Candy from CG Applique Patterns. Video 3, Choosing Fabric. You will need painter's tape, a Sharpie, and a pencil. Now it's time for your personality to shine. If you're comfortable choosing fabric for applique patterns, you won't need this video. But if you tend to stick to the original colors in the finished project, you may want to watch. It's fine to use the original colors, but those fabric choices didn't just happen. They were carefully chosen and placed. This is the process I use to choose fabric. Since I'm using the beginner flower pattern in all these demonstrations, I will use traditional cotton fabrics. Before you go to the original finished project, take a look at the pattern templates and get an idea of the colors and type of fabric you want to use. There's leaves here, you probably want greens. There's a flower here. You want some brighter colors for the flower. We'll start with the 10 leaf pieces. All these leaf stems, they're 10 templates. I could use 10 different fabrics, but I've chosen to only use 5. I'm going to use each pattern twice on 2 templates. That would make 10. Okay, here are the fabrics that I chose. I took out a lot of greens and went through them again, and decided on a light, a dark, and 3 mid-range. That's a good way to choose your fabrics, because you need lights, you need darks, but you also need quiet fabric in the middle. So be careful when you choose. The next step, here is my fabric, my actual pieces that I have. The first thing you want to do is to identify each fabric piece with a letter. And that's where we're using the tape and the Sharpie. I want to identify each of these pieces of fabric. So this one is A, this one is B, you've got C, D, and E. Okay. Now I want to determine which templates are going to be A's, B's, C's, D's, and E's. This one I began right here because I knew I wanted to make this piece dark. So I chose my dark and I marked this with A. Now I need another piece. So I don't want to have it right next to A, so I looked down here and I chose for the dark this piece because it was underneath 7, so it looks more like a shadow. Just thought that would look good. My second piece, which actually isn't a cotton, it's a batik, but I liked the tone and it was a little quiet, so I chose it. I'm going to put that in number 2 with B, and I decided 7 with the B. C's are going in 5 and 10. Right down here is 10. D's are going on 4 and 9. And E's are going on 8 and 3. Okay, and you can see those pattern pieces are spaced. It's not like we have 2 same color next to each other. So be mindful of that. Now you may want to change these later on in the process, but for now this is a good start. We also want to do the same thing for the flowers, which are a bit easier because there's not as many pieces. Here I chose this green for this stem piece, and it's F, so I marked it F. This is the center flower here, I, so I marked it with an I. Then I have the 2 petal pieces. I decided to do both petals the same with the same fabric. So H is 12 and 13, and G is 14 and 15. Now you have a map to follow when you apply your freezer paper templates to the fabric, which will be explained in a future video. The next video we will show is how to prepare the freezer paper templates, how to make freezer paper templates out of all these templates on the full-size pattern. But you will need to be prepared. You will need an 8.5 by 11 piece of freezer paper that you can just trace around a piece of printer paper and cut it out. You'll either have to print it out from your computer or trace it, and it needs to be the beginner flower one prepared edge template. That's the kind of prepared edge is what I use to make my templates. There's needle turn, there's all sorts of stuff, but I use the prepared edge, so you'll need these. It's marked right on your templates, and you can trace them on your light box. You can see through it, or like I said, do it on your printer, but you are going to need this sheet all printed out for the next video. Be sure to stop by my group Facebook, on Facebook, CG Applique Patterns, to find my current patterns and purchasing information. Thank you. Bye-bye.